Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Juggernaut, and welcome to a channel update. Now, considering how I make these, I mean, that really the target audience is really just you guys, the subscribers. I feel like I shouldn't introduce myself at all. I mean, it's sort of, goes without saying, but I do it in every video, so might as well. Almost tradition at this point, I feel like, isn't it? Anywho. Figured that we should have a little bit of a chat about what's been going on and the future of the channel, the new series, I guess the returning series, and what I'm going to be doing, and so on and so forth. The biggest, I guess, and the primary reason why I want to have a channel update on the fact that I haven't done one in ages, but there wasn't really a need to, is that I finished my master's degree. I don't want to talk about that just a tiny bit, but I'll get into it in the sort of later half of the video in case you're not really interested and you're just here for the update as to how the recordings are going to go and how the videos are going to be coming out and stuff like that. So, the long and short of it is I took a fair bit of time, about 2 months or so, to write my master's thesis, and I did. It's kind of difficult and tiring, and it's also not that difficult. It's a weird experience. It's definitely, I feel like, very unique, because you have like a lot of time on your hands, but you do need to write a fair bit as an end product, right? It's about 50 pages or so. It depends on university to university. It depends on what you're writing about. If you have lots of diagrams and pictures and stuff in your work, it's obviously going to be a lot more pages than that. If you just stick to the point and you're very concise and you use as few words as possible, or the bare minimum of words that you need. You don't meander and blabber on, kind of like I'm doing right now, in your written work. Then obviously they're going to let you write a lower number of pages because you're so concise and to the point and stuff like that. And I like to think that I was fairly concise and that I didn't meander too much. It was about structuring feelings and structuring feelings by, the concept not necessarily invented by Foucault, but he did write quite a little bit about it, and he did sort of, it did come into focus, I guess, with his discourse about dialogue, or his analysis and his talks and his work and his research about the power of narratives and dialogue. Raymond Williams, I think, was the first to... I'm basically citing my master's thesis now, but Raymond Williams was the guy that I think first coined the term structure of feeling, which is basically what this refers to. So yeah, it was a sort of Foucault-esque analysis of structured feelings and how digital, or specifically in digital narratives, how video games and movies affect how you feel, not just the emotions you feel while playing a video game, but how they shape your reality. It's, the Slovenian, has been very famous on the internet. The Slovenian, the word escapes me. I'm sorry. Slavoj Žižek is his name. What's the word? Philosopher. That's what I was looking for. Very, very famous on the internet, but he has a very lovely quote, and that is, there is, of course, the fiction of reality, but there is also the reality of fiction. So, basically, the meaning there is that the two influence one another. I think I might have butchered that quote. Kind of tempted to find it right now, but no, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. Basically, his point is that the two influence each other quite a bit, and that you cannot have one without the other, especially nowadays. And yeah, it's sort of an analysis of that with different video games and the pandemic and everything, and how there was another author called Gaylord Leroy. Yes, you can laugh. I won't judge you too harshly. Come on, get it out of your system. Okay, good. He wrote about dystopian narratives and how we don't use them to sort of entertain ourselves and to escape. We don't use them to prepare. We don't use them to sort of fight and rebel and prepare ourselves to fight against oppressive dictatorships and dystopias in our own world. we rather use them as a vaccine to prepare us for living in dystopias, right? So if you read 1984, or any post-apocalyptic dystopian narrative, you're not doing it to sort of you're not doing it as blind escapism, and you're not doing it to prepare yourself against a society like that. No, you're doing it to sort of prepare yourself to accept a society like that and to live in it, which is a terrifying and very, very depressing notion, because, you know, the one sort of positive thing that you tend to take away from, you know, hell, even Warhammer 40k falls into the category, right? The one positive thing you can take away from that is like, well, at least I know this isn't reality, it's never going to be reality, and me reading about it is now going to make sure that I, you know, will fight it to make sure that this doesn't become reality. And, you know, in actual fact, he argues that it's quite the opposite, which is kind of entertaining. But anywho, that was like the last 2.5 or so months of my life spent researching that, and yeah, I haven't been super consistent with the uploads, but I did do it, I finished it, and it's one of those like really, really, really important milestones of your life. It's an achievement that is, you know, it's there for you, with you until the day you die. Nobody can take that away from you. It's your education, right? Whichever degree you get, whatever you do. Not just like a piece of paper, but like the knowledge that you actually gain and the experience that you gain. Nobody's taking that away from you, ever. Everything else you can lose. You know, you can lose money, you can lose your house, you can lose all those things, but what you learn, what you know how to do, that's not going away. So, it is a milestone, definitely. And yeah, I know a lot of people in my audience are also like either students or they're planning to go to university, leaving university, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess kind of felt right sharing it. But anyways, the game of the background, by the way, is World of Tanks. I have 2 lovely battles for you, 2 or 3, depending on how long this rant will take. That was pretty nice battles. I've been enjoying the hell out of that game. I've been playing it like quite a bit. Whenever I have time, I'll like squeeze in a battle or 2 and then, you know, sod off and do something else. I also took my driving exam, by the way. I don't think I haven't mentioned this anywhere because, well, it's a bit embarrassing that I haven't done it thus far, but it takes a while. You know, it takes like a few months. There's different tests, and, you know, you need the theoretical test, you need the practical test, you need lessons in both, and mandatory lessons in both. And yes, I took the test, I finished it, and now I have my driving license. Yeah. Now, Juggernaut, really, you're like gonna be 30 soon. Well, look, not quite soon enough, but what do I mean soon enough? Not quite soon. Soonish, you know. But yes, it's, you know, I didn't need a car up until now. I really didn't. I used public transportation for work and university and school and everything. And I live in a pretty small town, so it's like, you know, it's not like I really needed a car. I pretty much walk everywhere anyway. But I do have one now in case I want to, you know, go somewhere. And I've been driving a fair bit, getting the hang of it and stuff. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. It's I think I've discovered a new thing that I really like doing, which I really didn't expect to, because I wasn't really interested in cars or traffic. I mean, my interest in cars peaked with Top Gear, but I think everyone's did, so that's not really special. Anywho, enough blabbering on about myself and my own life, but it is a channel update. It is what's been happening in my life, and it does take time, my point is, so that's why the uploads have been a little bit dodgy here and there, but I've done, like I said, a huge thing. Now, PhD studies are obviously not the easiest thing in the world. It's really, you know, the highest possible degree in education that you can get. It's not easy to get. Really, you don't say, Juggernaut. Yeah, I know. It's not the easiest thing, trust me. But the lessons are on weekends, so I reckon I will be able to sort of upload a little bit more often nowadays and try and get back to that 1 video a day nirvana that I sort of really like, because it's easy to keep up with. The YouTube algorithm likes it, and, you know, yeah, it's just good for the channel, it's good for growth and everything. Speaking of the channel, it's been going nicely. I mean, I'm kind of... Obviously, I appreciate the views and the support and everything, especially on the Stalker series, which has been going on for, you know, quite a while now. I really do like it, and the sub count and views and everything just keeps going up, and that's great to see. At the same time, I started taking this whole YouTube business a little bit more seriously about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago or so, maybe a bit more. No, I would say actually 3 or 4 years ago. And yeah, there's been times where I'm not as consistent with uploads. It's not like you've had one video every day for the last 3 years or so. If that had been the case, certainly, things on the channel might look differently now. But at the same time, I've put in a lot of hours and a lot of work into it. It feels like a little bit of a shame that I can't do that as a part-time job in some sense. In that, after years and years of work, I really would have liked to not have to, fund it from somewhere else, if that makes sense, right? If it could pay for itself, in terms of, getting PC parts, recording software, buying the games and everything. Actually, I don't buy games nowadays. Mostly it's, I either get them from free for developers or, sometimes I do, but yeah, on that front, I suppose it is fine, but it feels wrong to be saying it, that I might have maybe, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe expected to be a little bit further ahead than it is right now. It feels like I'm not really being grateful at all about what I have and what I've achieved. I am, it's just that, maybe I've been a little bit ambitious, let's say, a couple of years ago, and maybe I expected to, not exactly to buy a mansion off of my YouTube money or whatever. Not, there are people that can do that. I just meant that, maybe it'll pay for itself. The bills and the stuff like that, and then I can do something else that's part-time somewhere else, and have 2 part-time jobs instead of 1 full-time job, which offers you, a certain bit of freedom and a little bit more flexibility in life than having a 9-to-5 regular job. But looks like I'm going to be doing that after all. In fact, I did do that for about 5 months this year in total, I think. It's not that I quit after a few months just because I was bored or anything. Even though I'm sounding sarcastic right now. No, I genuinely didn't. It was like a temporary thing, but it was a full-time job, like a temporary full-time job, if that makes sense. Those exist here, and yeah, so that was pretty good though. Some water. Sorry about that. But yeah, very important work experience and all that good stuff. So yeah. Anywho, about halfway into the video, let's actually talk about the channel series and everything that's going to happen. So first of all, my computer is showing its age, right? And that's, I think, kind of showing in the videos as well. The good news is that I have managed to come into a fair bit of money, partially from working, partially from, my studies being financed by the state and everything, and I'm making it sound fancy. Basically, the rules are, if you do well enough in your studies and you get good grades, the state will fund everything. You don't need to pay, you don't need to take student loans or anything like that. We don't have those here. Even though I did take out a loan a year ago, but it's a loan that you don't pay back, which I'm sure is a novelty concept for the United States and some other places. Although I guess with the recent cancellations on the student debt, maybe not so much, but it's been like that here forever. The deal is, if you finish within a certain time frame of you taking the loan, if you finish your studies, that is, you don't pay it back. And yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. It feels like you're, the work you put into and the research you're doing and the education you're going through is really appreciated by the state, and that always feels nice, I suppose, or not necessarily the state, but by society at large. And you tell people, this is really funny. I will get to the series, I swear to God, but I've gone on a little bit of a rant here, and if you'll indulge me for a minute, it's really nice to talk about, and I like sharing my experiences on this. At least this has been the case in my country. If you tell them that you have a PhD, or you tell them that you are a PhD student, people treat you vastly differently. And I don't mean just like, bartenders and stuff when you sit down, when you talk to your colleagues, or in academia or whatever. No, I mean like in the post office, the mailman, the police officers, the people on the street. I mean, you don't walk up to random people and say, "Oh, do you know I have a PhD?" That's mental. But I mean, if you bring it up in conversation, or if they see somewhere that you have, that you're a PhD student, or you have a PhD, or you're on your way to sort of that level, people treat you like all of a sudden like, oh, whoa, this guy's really special and like, really worth our respect. And I guess that makes sense because there's not many people like that in the country. Probably like I don't know, I really don't know the exact number, but they're very, very rare. Like there's like a couple in every city, max, right? So you kind of feel like almost like a celebrity, Like I went to the, what we call it here, like the Employment Bureau or something. It's an institution to help people find jobs and stuff. It's a state-run institution, so I guess you might not have an equivalent of something like that in your country, but it exists here. And I went there and I was like, you go there to get all sorts of paperwork, not just to find a job. So, I had some business there and I go in to grab some paperwork that I needed for my university. And I'm like, so yeah, like, dear, I need this. And they're like, yeah, okay, right, and sit over there. Not the politest people there. And it's like, so, well, what do you need it for? So I'm like, I'm a PhD student. And they're like, oh, wait, you're a PhD student? Oh, wow, congratulations. That's excellent. Wow, and you're, what did you say you need? You do this? Okay, please, come with me. Come into the office right now. No, you don't have to wait in line. Come in. So I'm like, really? I don't want to skip queue. I was like, no, this is different. Like, this is for this is the queue for the plebeians looking for a job. This is the queue for doctors, like... you just step right into a separate office. It's like it's a whole different place you go to. I was like, whoa, like seriously? And I'm like, damn, I really thank you, but it's really not necessary. I mean, I'm just a young dude, that went to university and is too lazy to work a 9-to-5 job somewhere normally and decided to, I'll study a little bit more. At least that's what I feel like. But no, they were like, super polite and nice about it, and not just there, but like I said, like in a few different places. So it's a great feeling. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a bit narcissistic. It's a bit like pompous and snobbish, maybe, but it does feel great. I'm not gonna lie. Anywho, so that was it. That's the whole university personal life side of things. Like I said, I'll try and be more consistent on the uploads from here because I do have a schedule now that's fairly fixed. Weekends is lectures and stuff. Monday to Friday is... I hesitate to call it homework because it's PhD, but you need to do some research and writing of your own and stuff, but it's that and a whole bunch of free time. So yeah, there you go. Speaking of series though, I have to be completely honest. I haven't found a new-ish game that I really like. And I feel like this ties in directly with a video that I recently made about the quality in new AAA games, the rant about Dying Light 2 and stuff like that. Really, the games that I most enjoy playing right now are Stalker and World of Tanks. And don't worry, I'm not going to be recording World of Tanks for the channel. I know it's not the most popular game on my channel, and with you guys, that's fine. But... yeah, like first impression videos and stuff like that, for sure. Those are always fun and a great way to attract new people. But in terms of like long Let's Plays, I want to keep going with Stalker. There is, I think the next version of Anomaly came out, or a next version of Escape from Pripyat came out. So I'm going to be probably upgrading to that at some point when I finish this series. And I will continue Mass Effect. Mass Effect is always going to be near and dear to my heart. So yeah, I will play that as well. On the channel, but other than that, I mean, I've deleted. I have like a huge library of games installed on my PC. I've deleted like pretty much all of them. Currently, I'll tell you what I have on my PC installed currently, other than the stuff that I've recorded. I have Vampire Survivors, which I guess I also recorded. I have Halo, which I'm going to finish in, off camera in my own time here and there. And yeah, that's about it. I also have Crusader Kings 2, because 6,000 hours in that game isn't enough. But yeah. Anyways, it's just I'm not really having fun with any of the new games that are coming out. If something that really tickles my fancy comes out, I might do like a mini series or a full-blown series on it. But games that came out so far are just like, they're either pretty good, but just, yeah, okay, not really for me. Let's just say it like that. I mean, what was it? Gotham Knights came out recently. Knights of Gotham, whatever. It's like, okay, it's fine. Saints Row came out. I was really looking forward to it. I mean, I was pessimistic, but I was really looking forward to it, and it's a disaster. So like, it's stuff like that. Disappointment after disappointment. You get a bit weary of it, and I'm pretty much sticking to like the two things that I know I really like. And if something comes along, then fine. But for now, those are the two major series that I really, really want to do and really want to get over with. Well, not get over with, or like get into and finish and have the whole thing up on YouTube for all eternity and for people to see. But yeah, that's mostly what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, pretty much it. Obviously, there will be first impressions and stuff like that, mini-series here and there. I will probably do a few just to break up the monotony. I'll do something that, since I'm playing 2 RPGs, I might do like a strategy game or a shooter or something like that for like a few episodes, a short game or something along those lines. But yeah, other than that, that's mostly going to be the main. That's going to be sort of the meat and potatoes. Stalker and Mass Effect are going to be the meat and potatoes of the series and of the channel for probably the next few months, honestly. And I'll throw in stuff in between as a little bit of a spice, I guess, and a little bit of variety. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening. Watching if you've been enjoying the replays, which I think ended a couple of minutes ago. But yeah. That's it. If you have any questions about me, about, my experience with university, I'm more than willing to share absolutely everything about the channel or about anything, please do feel free to ask down in the comments below. I respond to pretty much everything, as long as YouTube doesn't delete something or bury it and never send me a notification or something, but I do try and keep up with absolutely everything across all the videos, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you for all the support thus far. It's a joy to sit down and talk to myself in front of a microphone. And again, that sounds a tiny bit sarcastic, but I do genuinely mean it with all my heart. It's a privilege to be able to do that. Sit here and blabber on about something or play something, and then somebody somehow finds his way onto my channel, onto YouTube, views the video, and maybe his day is improved by 1%. Maybe just at the end of this all, if the smile on your face is increased by at least 1%, I feel like I've done my job, and that's what I'm here to do. That's everything else is irrelevant, basically. That's why I end my videos with have fun. Ultimately, that's what we're here to do. And if you don't have fun doing everything in life, then you're wasting your time. Obviously, not everything can be fun. Nothing's that simple, but you have to try and enjoy even the suck, even the bad moments, even the obviously within reason, within rational limits. What I mean by bad is, like even the boring stuff. Your job, your chores and stuff. Find some satisfaction in that too, and things will be a lot brighter. At least that's what I'm trying to go for, and that's what I'm aiming for, anyways. Once again, thank you very much for the support, for your views, for comments, likes, and everything. It really helps the channel out. But I'm sure you've heard this like a billion times on YouTube. It is true, though. It is true. The algorithm really likes that. And, well, I'll be completely honest. Makes us, the creators, feel a little bit warm and fuzzy inside when we see it. It's green numbers good. It's like when your numbers are going up, good. Makes you feel happy. But anywho, regardless, that's pretty much everything I had for this update. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Until next time, my name is Juggernaut. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.